My name's Violet CoCo and I'm a member of Extinction Rebellion. Extinction Rebellion is a movement based on non-violent direct action, civil disobedience, to respond to the climate and ecological emergency that is taking place in our planet right now. We have 3 demands. The first is to declare a climate and ecological emergency, and for that to be communicated to people with the urgency that it requires. The second is to zero emissions by 2025 plus drawdown, which means planting trees, because trees suck carbon out of the atmosphere. And the third demand is to create citizens' assemblies. So basically we can't trust our politicians to create the change that's needed. And so what we want to do is create like a jury of citizens that will be advised by experts, and then they come up with fair and reasonable responses to the emergency. We've used 20 citizens' assemblies in Australia so far to decide things like council structure and waste and all kinds of things. They have used them all around the world, and particularly in times of political unrest. And it's absolutely vital that we don't leave the emergency situation in the hand of the politicians who really created it. We have a theory of change that involves disobedience, like I said, but mass disobedience. So the idea is that we mobilize on 2 dates a year, and we call everybody to come and join us on those dates who can, and we lock down the cities. We had one in September, and it's so creative. Extinction Rebellion is all about regeneration of not just of yourself and the land and the community. In Melbourne, that's where I'm from, we created disco-obedience, disco-obedience. And so we discoed down the streets, and that's how we blocked the streets. We danced, and we have XR families. Extinction Rebellion is for everybody. But mostly it's a place for people to go and connect with their community when they are feeling grief and anger about the destruction of our planet. We're in a very serious situation. The scientists are saying that we've never been closer to doomsday. The doomsday clock? It's never been closer to midnight than it is right now because of the ecological collapse. So a lot of people are really focused on carbon and carbon being the problem and carbon emissions, and it is, because that's heating up our planet. But we also have extensive biodiversity loss, so we're losing the diversity of our plants and animals. And this week at the People's Assembly that I was at, we had a scientist say that losing biodiversity is like taking bricks out of your house and expecting it to still stand. We are the front line for emergency action, and it happens in your cities, and it's global. This is a global movement.
So why Tent Embassy?
Why the Tent Embassy? Because these are the original people of our country, and we recognize their connection to land and water, and that has never really been recognized by this government. And so we're here because we want to make a spiritual connection to the land as much as we do a scientific understanding. I think also we need to connect with our spirit, and that's what we find here. And also just out of a deep respect of the history of Australia, it has been, there's a genocide has happened here that hasn't been acknowledged. And so, I pay my deepest respects to my elders, and acknowledge that they have always been on the front line of this rebellion that we're now taking up. They've been fighting this industrialization of our civilization since the colonizers first landed here. And colonization is one of the sicknesses that is causing this collapse and causing our culture to be the way it is, that is causing our land to die. And so reconnecting here and creating a stronger fire here for these people who we know find the land sacred and so will protect it is vital to the healing that's got to happen to our whole society.